Staying with us today. We're still celebrating women, so we still have our guest, Dr. Mariam Shettima, in the building. BC had a question for her.
Mariam Shettima, you're very beautiful. When my friend was saying it, I wanted to punch her. That you can actually be beautiful and be intelligent, and it's okay. We need to celebrate that. We don't have to separate it. But you mentioned something about complimenting the men, which I found very derogatory. We are trying to show that we have the same capacities, that we can do the job as well as the men. But when we now hear complimenting, I'm not going to raise my daughter to go and compliment a man out there. The only person I'm going to compliment is my husband because I am married. But when I'm out there, I should be competing with the men. They are my counterparts. What sort of information do you think we can start giving to these young people to understand the power that they have? We've lost her. Oh, God.
Sugar, I'm so sorry. I think we lost total connection. I do apologize. But what do you, I mean, this issue of compliments is a good point to raise. A lot of women have been saying that. We had a guest recently also that was saying that we're not there to come and take your jobs. We're just there to compliment.
No. Saying that, I'm just raising my daughter to compliment you.
I don't agree with that. I feel that we're in a collaborative world, and we're not meant to compete. So maybe complimenting will seem like we are
we're begging.
Yes, we're begging. We're
whatever
passing.
crumbs you give to us.
Maybe it's like we need to collaborate. There are two genders in the world, you know. So these two genders are like they are equal parts, two sides of a coin. Yeah. And you cannot have a fair and balanced decision across any industry without being balanced. Yeah. So that's why they should be involved. And it's not, when they say complimentary, it tends to sound subservient. It tends to sound like you're appealing for something, but it really shouldn't be that way.
So I like that. So let's put it out there. We don't want to compliment, we want to collaborate.
Yes.
So
work hand in hand.
I really love the word collaborate. I like the word collaborate because it shows that you understand that I'm coming with my strengths. You understand that I have something that you may not have. But when you say compliment, it's like, okay, whatever I have got left, you can come and compliment it. And so that's why that attitude of some of the members of the House on the day that they were discussing that bill, were like, no, let's not give them 30. Let's try 15. No, let's try 18. Imagine. You know, because it is, you know, it's for us to give. It's for us to dash them. Let us see what we can do for them. Case. And I want women, I understand that there are different strategies to get what we want. Right. So I can understand those that may be talking the complimentary side, but I want women to understand that they are, they can stand toe-to-toe with any man because they are just as educated, they are just as exposed, they are just as experienced. Right. So it's not a woman who is begging to whatever you give me. And so when you get to that position, you're not even expected to do much because they have to give you how much of that role to, you know, to make an impact. And you are not allowed to really give of yourself fully. But is she back?
No, so let me regrettably we lost Dr. Mariam Shettima. We couldn't get her back. But we have with us another woman who is Honorable Adewumi Ononuga. She's the Chairman House Committee on Women Affairs. So she's the right person to talk to also on this matter that we just raised. Because, good morning, madam, are you there? Hello, madam, Honorable Ononuga. Hey, good to have. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Hello, I can hear you clearly. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, fantastic. So
yes, I can hear you too.
So before you came on, Tokwe and BC were saying something. BC was raising an objection to the word or to the phrase that women are complimenting men. We're not demanding, we're just complimenting. And Tokwe now said the better word is collaborating. Let's drop the word complimenting. Let's use women are in the house to collaborate with you. What do you think about this? Should we start this hashtag, we want to collaborate, instead of complimenting?
I don't agree with the fact that we are complimenting. We're not complimenting. We're not a side dish. Collaborating, yes, I agree with that. For want of trying to say, oh, we are equal to the men, because that for them is like trying to be at par with them, which is, it's debatable, really and truly. Yes, we are collaborating because we are working together to achieve a better nation. So when you say that we are complimenting, I really do not agree with that.
Okay, all right, so good. Now let's go into the crux of the conversation. So we heard that 3 of these gender bills are being reconsidered. one of which obviously is the indigeneship and all that. What are we doing as women to upturn this? Are we doing some lobbying behind bars? Are we behind the scene? Are we talking to more groups? Are we ensuring that we're getting commitments from these men to ensure they vote as we want them to? What has been what's been going on so far since this happened?
Well, for us to have seen from a 0 to a 3/5, I think some form of lobbying did take place, and it would be appreciated that even forces, civil society organizations, female groups came out en masse and said that they were not happy with the fact that there were no bills or no gender bills assented to or approved by the House of Representatives. So for there to have been a change, I believe, and I know kind of lobbying went on. Some of us, did not even rest for all those days that the bills, had been denied. So a lot of lobbying went on. A lot of lobbying is still going on. We are 3/5. Yes, it's better than 0/5, but we're still pushing to see how many more we can. At least the remaining 2, we're thinking of bringing it back, reworking them, and then representing them again.
So, since this happened, of course, women have used their voice. We have shouted and threatened and everything, and protested. And, we had some conversations where people think, oh, well, it's just protest. You're just going to come out again, and then nothing happens. What do you think? Do you think that the way that women just came out en masse and in one voice to call out the National Assembly for this, do you think that it is the reason why we're even talking about the fact that they're going to overturn it or look at it one more time?
Yes, I want to believe it was part of it. It was not totally the reason why there was a relook at it. Yes, it was part of it, and it was a considerable part, if I may add. The fact that it was being reconsidered, the women came out, the women, pulled together and said, look, listen, this is our voice, and if you feel that we're joking this time, just wait until we get to the polls. And they realized that we were serious about it. And a lot of the civil society groups had started, the work of going down to the units, because that's what we were saying, that we will go down to the units, each polling unit that any woman and every woman has, and we would tell them what has happened. Because, some of the women in the rural women and those who are in the remotest parts of the country may not understand what is exactly going on. So we had made up our minds we were going to go down to the nitty-gritty, down to the units, to the most minute person or minute woman out on the street and say to them, this is what is happening and this is where we are going, and we would stand together as one. And I think they realized that. And so now the change that we're seeing is a part of us coming together to say, look, listen, we are going to stand as one, because they keep saying that we are our own enemies. And we're showing them that that's not happening. That's not true. Yeah. We are together.
Let me pause you for a second. I have just a few more minutes.
Quickly throw in this, because I realized that yesterday one of the comments that stuck with me was, we need to be assertive, not aggressive, because we're not fighting. They're already there, and women need to assert themselves. And we've interviewed several female politicians that were aspiring, and behind the scene they'll tell us, oh, they told us to step down. They told us to step down. How can we push against the stepping down area where they say you aspire, and then the political godfathers will say, step down for now? What can you do, being where you are, to see how we can strategically position more women to be as candidates in 2023, so that we're planning ahead and not just campaigning and protesting?
Yes, I get you. And I think it is important we are also very sincere with ourselves. Because you are a woman does not mean that you come from no political history, no political background, no political, how do you say it?
experience.
No political activity, not even experience, activity. No political activity. Have you been going to the ward meetings? Are you known in your ward? Are you known in your local government? Are you known in your state constituency? Are you known in your federal constituency? Are you known in your senatorial constituency? Then you just come out and say, no, I want to be the deputy governor. I want to be the governor. Down. Because you do not have any antecedents. So we also have to be very frank with us. I'm not going to say because I am the president's daughter to be the senator in frank with ourselves. When I came for 15, I was asked to step down, and I had worked so hard. And it's obvious to everyone I had worked very hard. But because in the lineage, in the party structure, I wasn't a novice, and I understood that yes, okay, this is a recognition. I have worked so hard. So, maybe someone had.
Honorable Onanuga, we're having issues connecting with you, but I'm told that Dr. Shettima is back. Madam, are you there? Let me pause, Honorable, for a second. That's why we get that reconnected. Dr. Shettima, are you there? Dr. Shettima, we obviously have a connection.
Yes, I'm right here.
Oh,
I'm right here, Ms. Moyo. I'm right here.
You see, I had a question for you.
Yeah. Okay, Dr. Shettima. So I would want to ask you how best you think women can support each other more, because most of this unconscious bias that we have is actually enforced by women. Most women are afraid that if a woman gets to a place of power, they'll come and rub it in, and so we don't see that much support. What are some things that we can begin to do to support ourselves as we get into leadership?
I think it's important that women realize that we are sisters to each other and not competitors against each other. I think that's the major issue that we will have to really work hard towards changing. Clearly, women are sort of, I'm sorry to say, sometimes they are their own worst enemies. If you can't just be singing, you want that equality, you want to be considered, when in actual sense you don't even consider yourself equal to a fellow woman. That truly happens a lot, and I think we need to get rid of that. I love the fact that Honorable Ajewumi was here, and she made a lot of sense. I feel that truly you have to start participating from somewhere. Like, politics just does not start at the top. Like, someone just wakes up and says, we want to be like a senator or a governor or whatever. Right. I mean, you will have to, even in your own domain, your own house, as a housewife, as a wife, it's a political setting of some sort. So you have to learn to navigate through all that to control and maintain some level of confidence in the people you're taking care of.
Thank you, Dr. Shettima. Let me pause you on that. I have Honorable Onanuga back because there's a question I really want to ask you. Are you there, madam? Honorable Onanuga, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. This question, woman to woman question. You are in the house. We don't see these things. You know your people, your colleagues. I'm sure you have an idea where we have a problem amongst these men that are just refusing to adopt the fact that women are here. We're here to stay. So you know them. I'm sure you work with them. Who are they? Give us an idea. I mean, don't mention their name, but give us an idea what we're dealing with. I mean, and what other challenges are you facing as a woman within that house that is not letting these bills to be passed? Because it's not today. Senator Tinubu has been trying to push this thing. You know, these are things that years, people have been going back and forth with this. What is the problem?
The matter is the fact that a lot of our men hide behind religious and cultural sentiments. And it is not true. They are just bringing out their own inadequacies, if I may use that word. A lot of people of the tenacity of a woman, of the doggedness of a woman, of how much a woman would hold on to something and make it better. I mean, like, Platt they've done a lot of research to say that where a woman is given an opportunity to serve, effective and efficient allocation of public resources are utilized. Improve conflict management and resolution. Increase in public trust. Reduce armed violence. Because the woman will not go and pick up arms. Income and wealth generation. I want to believe that is what the men are afraid of. Stop the men, please. Don't get me wrong. Some men are he for she, and they say, look, listen, these women, in truth, are capable and they have the capacity to do this work. But some men are just afraid. I do not know, maybe some kind of complex growing up, maybe some kind of complex religiously, maybe some kind of complex culturally. I cannot say. But some men are adamant. I don't even want to listen to any lobby you say to them or any points you're trying to get across to them. So that is what we are going on, what we're facing with some of our colleagues.
Right, got you. You have to wrap up. Just have one more.
We could just disagree with something that was being said. I think both of our guests mentioned it. We have we have seen men, technocrats, no political history, brought into politics for their capacity to lead, and they were made to take a position of power through electoral process. I feel that this, go and start from local government, go and start from ward. We can bring in women who might not have started from the ward level or local government level, but they have capacity, and we know that if we put this woman in this position, people will rally around. I think that we women within the political space and women who have done grassroots that know that they might not be able to get it should go and call that woman from the bank, call that woman from the industry and say, we are going to support this woman, whether she's not a local government chairman or she's not even registered to any party, to become this person. And we must do that because it's not everybody that will go through that local government level to get into power. Because men don't go through it.
We do everything together.
We'll do everything together. Those that will start at ward level.
But thank you, Honorable.
Thank you for giving us
we appreciate giving us the cocoa of the matter.
Yes, religious and ethnic
so we'll go back to our pastors and our imams to
start
reteach
preaching.
And the culture, the social values that we have, begin to tweak it. So that these boys that we're raising are more, they are more refined.
Yeah.
So in the future, we don't have this kind of
the best way to get them is to present their daughters to them. Your daughters are growing tomorrow.
I didn't get to ask Miriam
yes, please.
Yeah, I didn't get to ask her any questions, but I wanted to say that for a woman from Kano State, you know, a lot of people would think immediately some of these biases, but you're seated here and you're using your voice, and that means you have broken some biases to be here. And I hope that, you know, that the women watching you and girls watching you today would learn from that and be inspired by you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. I'm told that today is our director and cameraman, Mr. Shegun Peter's birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Mr. Shegun
Peter's birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to them. All right, that is all. We can, in fact, any man I meet now, just like, he for shit. I'm taking this matter on my head. Stay with us. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.